come out the other way and doing it? Everybody doing it. Hey, we're live. You know it. We got the love to show it. 'Cause what you see is what you get. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. That's right. I wanted to say live from New Jersey with love. But I'm not in New Jersey. But we can always make believe and give shout out to your producer tonight. Kai is here. Hello to you, Kai. A guy in my eye. Kai sings. He has all this stuff going on. Please like him and watch his performance and all that stuff. And it's Kai Cool. Can you tell me the whole thing on Instagram? Your name?
It's a don't say Kala.
Don't say Kala. Don't say.
Isn't that Greek for hello?
Don't say Kala.
Kala.
And don't say Kuhnquist either while you're
Hey,
at it.
no.
Oh,
Hey,
did
no.
I say that?
Hey,
Did I say that?
Don't say color.
Unless you were at Madison Square Garden recently, then you could say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh my gosh, he sold out. Listen, I heard that Dane Cook is still fuming. I'm kidding, Dane. I love you. I'm going to see you at Thanksgiving. We're going to have so much fun. We always do when we get together with comedians that you haven't seen for a long time. And it's always good. Hello there. We love Sherry because she's so bright. And it's true. And I never get tired of it. You know why? It helps me remember your name.
Yeah.
And I need that. The rabbi keeps calling my husband Michael, and now I'm confused. And I don't know why he says that. Like he's trying to start some shit. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, hello, Michael. But not Men's, the other one. I'm not going to say names because I'll get sued again. Who wants to get sued? Oh my God, I just saw like an arm come up. I'm so from New Jersey where there's somebody who's like, you skin pop me? You skin pop me? I had my blood work done, and the nurse said to me, did you feel a pop? And I was like, whoa, I'm in the wrong place. I was on Santa Monica Boulevard. Great place to be. I've seen things here that I haven't seen really anywhere else. And I saw a guy who was taller than our guy Nick and the other guy. He was so, how tall was he? But he was naked. On top of everything, he's naked. And they asked me if I have any experience in CPR. I don't know why I was thinking about a restaurant when they said that. And I still don't know why. But it had something to do with my mouth, and they wanted me to put my mouth on this guy. And they said, she says, well, the least you can do is take out a mirror from your compact and put it under his nose. Dude, I have a class to teach, and he's laying out in front of the freaking door. All right? And then the lady that was going to rent from me, I forgot to tell her I was black, right? And I know it's not important to you guys sometimes, but like, if your name is Kroonquist, you better come out platinum blonde, blue-eyed. You can't come out looking like Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, because Fuzzy Wuzzy has this hair. And when I knocked on the window, she locked the doors. And I just thought that was so crazy. And I was like, no, I'm still gonna come on and whatever. And there's this guy lying, and I'm just like, oh my God. And they asked me to do mouth to mouth, and I was like, oh my God. And I didn't, and the woman's like, what do you mean? He's absolutely nude? I go, nude, naked, hung like a horse. I said it on a tape line. I said it on a tape line. I said it. Because they would look at us, women, if we were like incapacitated, they'd look. They were like, yeah. I was on a beach in Tampa. I remember this like it was yesterday. My girlfriend, that's why, it's hard when you're mixed. It is. You want to do things your black friends are like, are you out of your mind? Your blood pressure will go up. I'm like, let's go lie in the sun. They're like, for what? We black enough. That's all we have to do is stay black and pay taxes. And I'm like, what are you on the sun? So these Jamaican guys went by. Hey, green-eyed born. Hey, green-eyed born. I was like, I ignored them. And the other guy says, she ain't no woman anyway. Don't even have any breasts. And I was like, it's on me. And I felt so... I didn't know what to say. I had nothing to say. What do you say? You have nothing to say. But Patrice O'Neill had a lot to say. I want to find that tape. Just for the hell of it before I die. Because you guys are such fans. And I'm glad you guys are such fans. Because one day I'm going to write a tell-all book. I am. I'm going to tell it all.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell it all. Because sometimes I don't understand why. In a lineup of 26 comedians that one woman goes up. It's just one, and I'm not into this whole, believe me guys, I'm woke, I know what time it is. I'm just saying, damn, like I'm the only one, and I'm old to boot. Which means you have to like, when you have that situation, and then the oldest person in the audience is 24, you've got to go down to 16. You just have to be just that way. You just go on their level. It works every time. Sometimes. Because later after the show, you know, you're drunk, guys be like, yeah, man, you know, I fucking like sounds like an animal that needs to be fed or nursed or some work has to be done, and I'm done with that. I don't know why I'm looking at Patty and saying it. I just see milk, more milk. But we're not here to talk about milk.
Yep.
No, we're not. I just want to know which Menendez is going to kill first when they get out, okay? Because the first one is just crazy as a bedbug. He is crazy as cat shit. I feel so bad for him. I really do. I feel bad for both of them. And I'm going to tell you something. I feel bad for us, okay? Has anyone watched, because I know Patty's, I'm saying mom, I'm sorry. She's somewhere watching a whole lot of stuff. Sorry, wrong Irish mother. But I wanted to say that all these murders have happened on Elm Street, and there's a show about that. You should watch that. And I think you should watch it because it doesn't matter which show you're on when you have the comedy of the one and only Sean is in the house. Come on, baby. Give it up, give it up, give it up. I'm doing like a black show. Give it up, give it up.
That's so funny. So I went to like elementary school in Beverly Hills, and I swear that it's like not part of the curriculum at all, but every teacher would bring it up. Like just yeah, it would come up like in 8th grade. I remember my teacher mentioning like that he taught those kids, and then saying something like, "I'm gonna be honest, like I think they definitely did it. I mean, they said they brought up the kind of molestation thing later, and like even if that was happening, you don't spend like $200,000 before you appear in court. So it's like everyone thinks like they're guilty. So I wonder how they're like receiving this like new wave of like information.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, no, isn't it wild?
Did it make you upset? Oh my God, I'm upset for you. Did it make you upset as kids to have to hear that?
No, I was interested.
You were, right?
Yeah, I was like, that's so on Elm. I go trick or treating there. You know?
Right.
It's very intriguing. I like to know. You know. We also asked that teacher about OJ.
Yeah.
Definitely did it as well. You know, he would just tell us anytime there was that. And then he also said, he's like, but we had to let like one black guy get away with one thing. So like I understand. Like he was like woke OJ sympathizer type. Like he did it, but it's okay. Happened one time. And that teacher was gay, so I don't know if that makes him more qualified to like weigh in on stuff.
Yeah.
So my dad had like 2 heart attacks in like the last month, but he's still fine. He's got like just 2 stents or whatever they're called put in. And I swear TikTok just knows, because then it's like they keep trying to sell me this book to like give my dad so he can like write stuff in it for like when he dies, and I like show my kids.
Oh.
And I kept getting the ad, and I'm like, all right, I'll pull the trigger, I'll buy it, you know. And I didn't realize, like once you get the book, like it's not like you're just meant to hand them the book. You're meant to like sit down with them and like ask them the questions and fill it out yourself. Because it's called, Dad, I want to hear your story. What I was actually I'm looking for Dad, I want to know your story. Like, but feel free to write it in there yourself, and I'll review it at a later time and date. I don't want to like sit down with you and do my like 60 minutes with you right now. You know, like, because there's like personal questions in there. I don't want to ask that to my dad. Oh, are we? Okay, cool. This is a little. I would never pray on someone else's downfall, because I don't pray, but I'll hope for it often. I'm currently dating a toy designer. This is true. She designs the Squishmallows, if you've ever heard of those. Yeah. You've heard of them. Oh my God, they're so cool. Or I pretend to feel that way around her. But she's also very like careful to say, I don't do any of the licensed Squishmallows. I do all the original designs. You know, it's like in collaboration. They don't give us any creative control. So it's interesting, based on what someone does for a living, like their critique of a movie is so completely different and hyper-specific. Like, she was like, you know what I don't get about Stuart Little? I was like, yeah, the talking rat that gets adopted rather than the kid, and the fact that M. Night Shyamalan apparently wrote it. Like, there's a lot of things to not understand. She's like, no, it's not that. It's, you know the scene where the rat is flying the plane? That toy plane doesn't have the inner working mechanics for the rat to control the plane from the inside. He's doing nothing with his hands, but we're led to believe as the audience that he's, you know, steering this plane. It just doesn't make sense. This is the hill you want to die on for Stuart Little, the film. I make fun of a lot of movies, but I did do musical theater in high school.
Right.
It comes from like a desire to be like the most masculine man in the room, and there's like not many other ways to do it. Like I could get a job at like a nail tech place, but I lack the technical skills to be hired. I found this like really cool low-key New York singer. This dude's like only got like 3 songs out, but I followed him on Instagram, followed him on Twitter. I'm like, this guy's good. And then I found out they're trans. They were born a woman, and they're still very good. But doesn't it make the high notes less impressive? You know, it cheapens it just a little bit for me. And that's no reason to hate. Another thing about musicians, if you're like 35 years old to 45 to 55 years old, you can still be a musician, but you can't be like a pop star anymore. You know what I mean? I used to work with a guy, and I still follow him on Instagram, and he's just really trying to still do like Backstreet Boys type music. I'm like, and he's got kind of like it used to be like a fade, but now since the hair is going away, it's kind of just like almost like a mohawk, because there's nothing really coming in, it's just one strand. And I just gotta tell him, like, you can make indie music, no problem, but no one wants to pivot. They've been doing it for long enough, can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, so I'm in like relatively high performance sales, and a lot of those guys that like do that stuff, they're on like Adderall, they're on Vyvanse, they do cocaine like in the middle of the workday. I don't do that stuff. I do a different thing, same result. I call it like reverse juicing. It takes a little bit longer though. So what you want to do, you want to like smoke weed every day from 16 to 25, and then you want to just stop abruptly. Dude, the extra mind power I have right now is actually, I think it could power cars. It's like I just did 4 lines of Adderall. Yeah, it feels like you're just still on time. Oh, I'm a menace to society, or at least I've been told. Here's one menace trick you guys can all try if there's someone you really dislike. What you want to do is you want to wait for them to post a photo on their Instagram story, and you just swipe up and you write. It mostly works only on women, but like it'll work on some guys too. And you just gotta write, "Congrats on the weight loss," but only if they were never fat. They'll be thinking about it for weeks. I've come to the realization that I may be a sociopath. Well, I say I've come to. It was brought to my attention by someone else. I was talking to my sister, and that was my first mistake, conversing. You know, 'cause she's a licensed like therapist, so it's just always going to be, you always walk out with a diagnosis, even if you're just like discussing dinner. But, you know, I kind of can see where she's coming from on this one. So I told her that when I first meet someone, I like to identify their largest physical flaw right away and write something mean about that, so that by the off chance me and this person are ever in a screaming match, I would win. You know? Don't we all do that? Right? We should all start. I'm just saying. But I can't be mad at her for giving like a diagnosis. You talk to them, you're diagnosed. You don't like invite a chef to your barbecue and be mad that he sous vides, you know. I like sous vide for that, because like grill isn't funny, but I think if you say sous vide, what's like another, does anyone know any other like cooking terms?
Flambe.
Flambe? Yeah.
I don't know what sous vide means, but I still laugh.
Thank you. It's when you cook something in plastic, which is kind of, it sounds yucky, but like fancy places do it, so I assume it's good.
Marinade.
Marinade?
Sounds like a hooker.
Marinade. Sounds too much like, no, it doesn't really sound like AIDS. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, so this tendency I have to think of these insults, I don't like only do it for people I meet, I do it for like celebrities that I might meet one day. Like, I was watching some clips of like The Voice, and like Carson Daly's like put on a little bit of weight and got a little bit of Botox, and I just immediately went, Carson's been eating daily. Yeah, write that down just in case. But also, what if I meet him and he's so nice? You know, it's just, I guess I just hold on to it. But then what if someone else tells him that first? He's going to think I'm copying. So, you know, it's a conundrum. It's a real catch-22. You know, I got a book full of A-listers that I have so few prepared for. Have I had to use it? No. But I'm grateful to have it. I'm like a responsible gun owner.
Ah.
Have you noticed there's certain jobs that are just overly stocked with kids on the spectrum? I like it. Okay, like the guys working at the vape factory have to be on the spectrum because who else knows what blue tastes like? This is true. I witnessed a very awkward situation in the Target on Santa Monica the other day. You know, it's Halloween time. The kid wanted to buy a Halloween costume. He's showing his mom, I want to buy that one. Alright, and this is going to be important to the story. I'm not just mentioning this. It's a Mexican mom and a Mexican child. And the costume he wanted was a taco. And the mom, I can see trying to like talk the son out of it. Maybe because she doesn't want to explain like racism quite yet, but it's just like saying, right, but you know the kids are calling you taco anyway. Wouldn't you feel like this would kind of make it like okay? Don't you think you're kind of maybe we should just not maybe you know there's a slice of pizza right there. Maybe we could be pizza. No, you can't be gyro. That's too similar to taco. Okay, thank you guys. My name is Sean. Find me on TikTok, Sean Tagdis, Taghdiss. Welcome back up to the stage.
Yes, if she can make it. If she can make it. I need some help. I need some help, so we're doing a sound check, a live sound check, because New York, I love you. New Jersey, I love you. And Boston just said that my sound is shitty. So you gotta believe I'm in Boston. No, I was moving it today. Perhaps maybe I pulled the one in the back out. But let me see how it sounds.
It sounds okay here. It sounds okay if the
How does it
headphones
sound in
there.
your
It
ear?
just doesn't sound good on the YouTube.
Is it loud enough on the YouTube? I would like to know. Now, of course, nobody answers. Okay, well. Hooked on a feeling, I'm now believing that I'm not in menopause.
Hey.
All right, so I didn't know if it was too hot, and I know that
It's a
sometimes
buzz.
it was. It is a buzz.
But it's not feedback.
That's a feedback. When it goes,
No, it's not
that's
feedback.
feedback.
It's a buzz. It's a buzz underneath. But it's not coming through on the board, so it's not between there and here.
Don't tell me it's between my toes.
Between your toes!
Let's try it again. Since we're here, we might as well have fun. These are the things that happen in real life that's true. You don't want, your hair looks great, by the way. Yes.
Oh my god, I'm leaving now. This is all I wanted.
You gotta leave it. So you can do your Gene Pirro lookalike thing. Judge Pirro, you do that. That'd be funny. You do that, and I'll straighten my hair. I'll be Kamala. We'll see. You know, a white person corrected me on a name that I can say it the way I want to say it because people say my. I mean, I have an Indian name too. Sunda's Indian name. Sunda. Now I'm gonna say, Patty, you are great. You always come right on time, man. Okay, now I want to know, I'm going to do it again so we can tell we're buzzing. Ooga, 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 chaka, ooga, 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 chaka, ooga. No, my daughter would say now, that is so racist. Everything I say now is so racist. Oh my God, is that my laugh? That's horrendous. Patty, it's awful. That's why I don't like to hear myself laugh. I don't want to hear myself on anything. I don't want to watch myself on a movie. I don't want to see anything. You can say, send what were you in, right? It's true. Not that one, because I was in it. And I gotta tell you, I look like a boy. When I look at it, I don't even know what I thought. I was wearing, it was elasticized, and I look like a pencil. I do, but then my head looks like an eraser. one of the nicest people. Wow, he's gonna go outside and check. That's so polite. I'm trying to remember, but I couldn't remember today, and I was wondering if somebody stole bananas out of my house because I don't trust my building. And yeah, because I had a guy come in. I told you this, right? The Persian guy came in. Did I tell you? No English. No English. Has a seat in my apartment. Goes on the balcony. Starts looking around, stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, you have the wrong house. Ba'it, I'm trying in Hebrew. I don't know, but you're in the wrong house. How is it now? A little scratchy?
Scratchy, but I can hear you.
But you can hear me.
We're gonna
Okay.
have to work. We're gonna have to figure out.
All right, come on, Boston. Hit me back. Anyway, he was in the wrong apartment, and let's just cut to the chase, okay? Persians are so superstitious in my book. Because period, end of story. They're superstitious. Superstitious, they make Italians look like amateurs. So the woman who works at the front desk says to me, Sunda, why you are telling everybody that he made a mistake and was in your apartment? I'll tell you why. Because he didn't know where he was, but he said, where is your husband? And I said, he's sleeping in the bedroom. And he said, no, he isn't. He's in New York. And I was like, ah! So I took out a knife, because what else am I going to do? I was scared. What are you going to do? Look, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
He had that much sense, right? So I said, imagine what it looks like that he's coming out of my apartment. I'm just saying, like, why? My husband says I can't say just saying anymore. We better? For worse? Rich or poor? We have something really exciting going on December 8th. I've got someone who's going to tell you all about it, but what I'm going to tell you straight off the bat is that it's great that you guys do stand up. And then you have an audition and you're wondering, okay, I'm just going to throw in my own mix. Sometimes it pays to have, most of the time and always it pays to be able to bounce that off of someone, whether it's someone who's a fellow actor, what have you. But to be in the mix, you got to be in the mix. And I'm so happy that Aaron has decided to work with us here at LA School of Comedy with his group that's coming in from San Francisco. So no longer will I be saying, Aaron, why are you leaving me and going to San Francisco? Let's talk about your class, the Film Actors Cafe, and of course the comedy of the one and only Aaron McIntyre. Let him hear you. Yeah. All right, let's hear what's going on with the sound.
Yes.
Yes, I'll hear it.
The sound. Listen to the sound. Yeah. You were talking about sociopaths and the Menendez brothers. I actually was in a class with a kid whose family, they made a documentary, and it was 6 psychopaths. So there was a family that actually lived very close to my best friend, who had a family of 9 kids, and 6 of them turned out to be psychopaths. And I went to school with one of them. And I remembered him, and I took out my picture, and I looked at him, and I was like, oh yeah, that was that really weird kid. I knew exactly who it was.
Wow.
Yeah, psychopaths.
Can't tell you why.
It's always good, isn't it? Hi everybody. So I just wanted to come up and give one more pitch, let everybody know that on December 8th, we're going to have a acting workshop. I was up in the Bay Area, taught up there for 35 years, had a bunch of classes going there, and then I decided to move down here. And now that I'm here, I want to get back into it, because actually I've been an actor, director, editor, producer, writer, and teaching is my most favorite thing to do. I love it more than anything else. I love working with people, and once I can see they're kind of getting it, it's the greatest feeling in the world, and I enjoy doing it. So we're gonna have a workshop. It's gonna be a free, complimentary.
Yes.
Don't want to say free.
Ever.
It's gonna be complimentary. It's gonna be from 4:30 to 6:30, a couple of hours. We're gonna work with young adults, anybody 10 to 17, because I want people who really want to do this, not people who want to just come and play and have fun. I want people who are serious and really want to do this, and I think you got to be around 10, to decide that that's what you want to do. It's like, otherwise, I'm gonna be an actor. And then they come in and sit on their phones the whole time and make trouble. And then from 7 to 10, the adults will come in. So we'll have 3 hours for the adults from 7 to 10, 4:30 to 6:30 for the young adults. December 8th, which is a Sunday, so you got the whole day off, I know it's the Lord's Day, but please take the Lord's Day and do something good for yourself. You know, you wanted this, you got it. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, do you? You don't need to hear anything else. Like I don't know.
That's what we wanted to
that's
hear.
all you wanted to
some
hear.
comedy from our acting teacher.
I
Hello.
Okay. Well, the election, huh? Who wouldn't want to fucking talk about that? Especially now that we've got we've got the flying banners. We've got the flying banners of both parties just flying high. Everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else, saying everybody else is a racist or a fascist or a Marxist or a communist. And I swear, I think that none of them actually know what those words mean. You know, I mean, at this point, you know, I've been watching so many things where they have like these debates, and somebody goes, "Oh, that person's a Marxist," and the other person goes, "Oh yeah, what's Marxism?" And they go, "I don't know, but they're a Marxist. I know they're a Marxist." Because all they do, they just know that it's bad. I mean, that's all they care about, is that it's bad for them, you know? We want the country the way we want it. And I think that there's a lot of people who, on both sides, who don't really know what's coming, right? We don't really know what's coming if either one of these people gets in. I mean, we could have fucking, if Kamala gets into the office, we could have fucking painted up school buses with people doing tripping on acid driving across the country, and the whole country would just become a big acid party, you know? Because that's what they do. That's what those fucking liberals do. Is they fucking turn everybody into dope fiends. Am I right, Sunda?
Totally.
Totally.
1000%.
But you know who controls those dope fiends? The fucking Republicans, man. They got all the money. They're buying all the dope. Fucking talking about.
Nothing to share.
Yeah, you preach. God, I don't know what I wasn't planning for this. I can see myself. Look, I'm pointing at myself. But, I can find something here. Oh, I'm bipolar. Oh, God. Sorry, that's bipolar. Yeah, it's just. But it usually takes a lot longer than that. Okay, but I'm on medication, so now it just kind of cycles throughout the whole day. It's just, you know, I go from up to down to up to down. But I'm not bisexual. I am straight. Although my whole life, you know, everybody always thought I was gay. I used to get shit for that all the time, you know. My wife, actually. My wife, actually, I hate to admit that. Okay, first I have to make a disclaimer. We didn't start dating until after she was my student, okay? So it was way after she was my student. I'm sorry. She was an adult, I was an adult, okay? Even though she was actually 2 years older than me, okay? But she was my student, and I really liked her, and apparently she really liked me too. Because about 2 years after she stopped taking classes from me, we got together. And at one point I said, you know, I never really got the idea that you really liked me. And she said, well, I thought you were gay. And I said, what made you think that I was gay? And she said, well, you were wearing those faggy boots. So I had a pair of boots that I got, and they were really cool, and I did wear them a lot. But I actually stole them from the Taviani brothers. They're filmmakers. And they came into town, and I worked on it, and they had all these costumes, and I put these shoes on. I was like, I gotta have these shoes. I still have them, actually. But I don't wear them because everybody thinks I'm gay. And I don't want people to think, I don't care if people think I'm gay. At this point, I'm never gonna get laid again anyway, so who cares? Am I right? Jesus Christ. I have been having a pretty torrid affair with my best friend's bidet. I don't know if you've ever had one of those, but man, they are squirty. Very squirty. I really can't tell them no, you know, because I don't want them to know that that's happening. You know, it's kind of difficult because I can't take her home to meet my parents, you know, because my parents are dead. But also they probably might have a problem with that. I don't know. You know, they could be here, you know, going. It wouldn't be your race. It would be having a relationship outside of your What would it be?
Gender?
No, not
Now
gender.
stop
The
it.
bidet.
Animal, mineral,
Animal,
vegetable.
yeah, it's out of your phylum. Is it phylum? Is it the phylum?
Inanimate object?
Yeah, no, you're outside of your.
Bigger than
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
It's existential.
It's a bigger concept that I can't possibly grasp.
Over the sink.
Stop.
Oh God, yeah. I've been thinking a lot about relationships. Actually, I haven't. I just thought about it because I'm trying to find something to say. I have no fucking idea what I'm going to say next. So I've been thinking about relationships, and so I'm just going to start talking about relationships. How many people are here are in a relationship? You're in a relationship. Sherry,
I am.
after the show, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the faggy boots, you don't. Well, these aren't faggy boots. These are Skechers. Skechers.
In your closet.
Yeah, in my closet. Oh, I've come out of the closet. That's a straight man now. You had said something about being a pussy. No, you didn't say you were a pussy. You said you were.
Trying to be the most masculine.
There you go, the most masculine. I also did musical theater. Thank you. I did a very racist version of a Chinese old man in high school. Didn't know it was racist then, but I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, I've always had that problem. But I am a huge pussy. I am like the biggest pussy. I really don't like pain. And I've never understood, I remember when I was in high school and the guys would go out and they'd like, and they'd like, slap box each other. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I just never understood why people would want to hurt themselves, because these hands are, I love these hands. I don't want them to be hurt. So I would never hit anybody, right? The biggest fight I ever had was one time a guy had stolen from me. So I told a mutual friend of ours that this guy had stolen from me. And one night I was tripping on acid. So I'm walking down the street and this car comes, starts coming right at me, and I'm running away. And he stopped and the smoke, the gravel went, all the smoke came up. It's like the fucking coolest thing in the world. And then he came out and he said, I heard you've been telling so-and-so that I ripped you off. And I said, well, you did rip me off. And he said, well, I can't have that. So anyway, we're walking up and he goes, well, he starts following me home. And his friend is in the car, And it's seriously like, can you imagine? I'm tripping on acid. It's fucking midnight. It's dark. I'm living in this little shitty podunk cow shit kicking town. It's gravel roads and like street lamps, and we're walking along, and the car is driving. And you hear the gravel as he's driving next to me. And this guy goes, so what's this shit? And he punched me in the mouth.
Oh my
And
God.
I just fucking lost my mind. And I went, ah! And I knocked him over. But I didn't punch him. I didn't hurt my hand. I just fucking knocked him over, and he fell down. And then I'm such a fucking pussy. I go, oh, I hope I didn't hurt him. And I backed up, and he got up again, and I went, ah! And I knocked him down again. That happened 3 times. Just knocked him down, never hurt myself, because I don't like to hurt myself. And then he pulled out a knife and said, I'm going to kill you. And so that's when I ran. And so that was my 3rd and final fight. And I only got 1 punch, and I didn't hurt my hands. So I feel pretty damn good about the way I came out of that whole situation.
There you go.
And I think with that, I'm just going to wrap it up, because why the fuck not? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. What? Huh? Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, you people, you are in for a treat. I'm telling you, whichever camera is on, get ready for the comical stylings of Hunter Weiss.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, I pulled the mic away too. Weiss.
Weiss.
Oh, I have to put that down. That's proper host etiquette.
Yes.
There you go.
Keep it going for Aaron, keep it going for Sunda. Thank you, good stuff. I don't know, guys. There is very little motivation to do stand-up comedy right now. I don't know if anyone else feels this. Like, I don't know, reality right now feels very heavy.
Hell.
Right? Like, I know people need to laugh, but, like, the world's crazy, and I'm like, the moon is weird. What's up with that? Like, doing comedy right now feels like you're on the Titanic being like, so what's the deal with icebergs? And I can't, like, put a fun conspiracy theory twist on it, like, what they don't want you to know is 90% of the iceberg is underwater. Okay, cool. The liberal mob owns the iceberg, but what are we gonna do about it? I don't know. I'm just really glad this is almost over. I'm glad the election is almost over, whatever happens. But I do find it very funny that a comedian might have just swung the presidential election. Like, you guys are all familiar with, like, the Kill Tony. Yeah, that is hilarious to me and utterly fascinating. Because Donald Trump, if you don't know, has been going on, like, a podcast tour, and he's been killing it, right? At the beginning. Like, now maybe he's done too many podcasts. Right? Like, I don't know if y'all are aware, but Donald Trump has done more podcasts than the Hawk Tuah girl. There's a problem there. Right, but I think he loved it, so he got, like, really into, like, the idea of podcasts, and people were like, oh, a comedian should open the RNC, and people were like, oh, Donald Trump should do Kill Tony, so somehow they put it together, and he opened the rally. And I don't know what to say about that, other than I think Barron Trump is no longer going to run the campaign. Right, like, I think the podcast tour is over. Maybe he'll start a podcast. He's got a week. Why not?
Right?
I want him to start a vlog, though, like a video blog, like Donald Trump on YouTube, like rate, comment, vote. Or an improv troupe. I just want to see him and Elon and J.D. Vance, just like the stiffest performance art you've ever seen. I guess I should go to actual jokes now. I got these new pants. My girlfriend says, little gayer than normal. I don't know how to take that. But so I got a Prius. I got a car for the first time. And she goes, thank you. Finally, someone's applauding me. I deserve it. I might be 31, but I did it. Showed her a picture of the Prius. She said, oh, I could see you in that. I'm convinced she thinks I'm gay. But, like, even if she doesn't, like, I don't want her to picture me in a Prius, right? I want to be, like, a cool guy, right? Like, when I go AWOL, I don't want her to think, like, I want her to think I wrapped my car around a tree, not I'm Ubering Greta Thunberg home, right? Like, and I don't know, it like, took a really long time, but, like, the thing that got me to finally get a car was not, like, my self-isolation or, like, picking up trash at the bus stop so I feel at home. It was, the final straw was I felt emasculated by a robot. Like those driverless cars, right? I was in one, and it was driving, and I was not, and I was just sitting inside of it, and like, oh, I feel cucked by a Waymo. I should get a car. Like, I should gain the confidence of a 16-year-old. That's what I gotta do. Let's go back a little bit. I talked about the Prius. I talk about the internet a lot. Cause, like, I don't know, I'm very disappointed in it. Like, I thought, growing up, the internet was my only friend. It's too sad. But, like, I don't know, I feel like it's just changed, right? Like, the internet, it was a really cool friend who we all, like, loved, and we're like, oh, they're sick, let's invite them to our birthday. They're gonna show up and bring some, like, cool vibes, right? But they showed up, and P. Diddy showed up with them. Right, like, we thought this was about, like, music and community, but it's just, like, terror videos and dark web baby oil. Right, like, the dark side of the internet won. Like, when I was growing up, the internet, it was wild. Like, a different kind of wild. Like, it wasn't, like, all Facebook and Instagram. It was, like, you'd start out playing, like, a Flash game, and then you'd, like, end up at a lemon party. You're not familiar with what a lemon party is? You said you're, what, 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lemon party, it was 2002, the early days of the internet. It was a political party in the UK, had these signs, go to lemonparty.org. And you would go to lemonparty.org, and there was one JPEG of 3 old dudes sucking each other's dicks. Just the whole dick in the mouth. It was a different time.
Ah!
The internet, it was also like, that was, I don't know, it was creepy, but like, it wasn't chaos. Right, like it was just, that was the seedy place, right? The seedy places back in the day were like the internet and an Abercrombie and Fitch. Like those were the creepiest. Like I'm not sure if I was molested, but I disassociate when I smell an Abercrombie and Fitch. Right, like something about giant black and white thirst traps. I'll just dissolve. Also, you said, so you just quit smoking weed and now it feels like you're on cocaine. Okay, so my girlfriend really wants me to quit smoking weed, and I no longer do cocaine, so maybe I'll quit weed to kind of do cocaine again. Literally might do that. What was I talking about? I don't know, also AI, like, I used to be so, like, overall, I think I'm just, like, turning into, like, I want either Amish or, like, Unabomber. Like, I'm not sure where my life is headed. Because I was so into, like, AI art when it came out. I was like, oh, this is super sick. We can do, like, cool art things. But as time went on, I realized, like, there's not a lot of innovative art being made. It's always just people who couldn't draw in middle school are now drawing stupid stuff like they are in middle school. Right? It's no like comments on the state of the world. It's just like, meh, big-titted Bugatti. Or meh, anime girl. Or meh, Mickey Mouse doing nitrous, voting MAGA. Like, I don't know. It's just the internet feels like that creepy kid who had a sketchbook and like you avoided him. But like now he runs everything. Also, that's like the nerds took over and they ran it. Sorry, that's a thing for me later to review. But like, I was like, this is gonna go in, and I'm actually, you guys are fun. This is a good time. Give it up for yourselves. Thank you. Anybody like use ChatGPT in here? Yeah. What do you use ChatGPT for?
If I'm starting to write about a new topic, I'll do some brainstorming there, like, you know, reasons for such and such, or
Okay. Do you tell it thank you?
I do not.
You do not. You've never introduced yourself.
I have not.
Maybe you should. Its name is Alex. I thought that was funny. No, but like you should introduce yourself because like I'm not one. Well, I am, but I'm not gonna say like, oh, AI is gonna take over and it's gonna kill us all. But like, if it does take over and kills us all, do you really want it to remember that you never said please? Right? Like the golden rule could apply to all intelligence, even fake ones. Right? Like I treat my conservative family right. They aren't intelligence. It was not what I wanted to say, but yeah, you guys are great. Halloween is overrated. My name is Hunter White, and find me on the internet at My Name's Hunter. Give it up one time for Sunda Queen Queen.
Give it up, say one time. Give it up, say 2 times. Oh, my Georgia boy with his little Georgia peaches. I think I sent the wrong Sean. Did you get pictures from me just now? No.
I'm on airplane mode, maybe.
What does that mean? My kids do that to me and I don't get any messages. None whatsoever. And you know why I have kids?
I got 'em.
Because I caught something from somebody once. And I caught it all right. And then I caught it again. And I'll tell you something. You don't know how embarrassing it is to be pregnant at your daughter's first birthday party with another baby. You feel like a loose chick, like a hula. And I was a married woman. My whole family was like, at the black side was really ridiculous. I know she better not be pregnant. The Jewish side was like, no! And the guy that did this to me is here, so I'm going to give him a round of applause. It's my birthday coming. Come on, you got to get up. Election day is my birthday. How horrible is this?
Oh my God.
I know.
Poor woman.
I've been hearing about it for the last 2 years, okay? And then he says to me, every year your birthday's a different day, and that's not true. It may be a different year.
Every year you.
Come on, just get up here. Come on, you got this.
All right.
This is the most exciting time in America.
It is.
It is so much fun. You see, I'm not a big football. At least I knew what a pick six was. I don't pretend to be a part-time college football coach, but the thought of AOC, you know who that is, right? All right, the thought of AOC running a pick six sounds sort of like her running numbers where she belongs, back up in Washington Heights. Because, you know, it's harkening back to her childhood. She was a numbers runner or something. Because Lord knows you don't run a pick six. And I noticed today, someone said something to me, something changed in AOC. I said, you can't see the hair, done. I mean, face back. Well, you know, obviously used to be a little young. She was the next best thing to sliced bread for a while. Never acquired taste, never cared for it myself. So here we are, at the precipice of everybody doing what they do in every campaign, pointing figures and calling other people names. Okay, Donald Trump is no more a Nazi than Bernie Sanders is a communist. Oops, made a mistake. Bernie Sanders is a communist. He claims he's not, he claims he's a socialist, but basically he is an old-time Marxist that wants to take away everything that you have so that he can have it himself. Did you know he's a millionaire? Yeah, he's a millionaire. Mostly for what his wife took from the school they were running and ran into the ground up in New Hampshire, wherever they live up in the world. She was a college professor of a non-existent college. Paid herself well. The students didn't get much of an education, but Bernie and her lived pretty nicely. It isn't hard to live up there, New Hampshire, if you can handle the cold. But I digress. As I was watching the Madison Square Garden extravaganza, I thought to myself, you know, I remember the old garden. In the old garden, I used to remember going to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. All right? But I don't remember the old garden ever holding 20,000 people. So obviously they exaggerated. There were not 20,000 Nazis and the 1939 riot. What people don't know is there might have been more protesters outside than inside at that time. And the funny thing is that the guy who ran it, you know, was running the boom, got arrested the next month for fraud. Not surprising, you know. He was the Hunter Biden of his time. Selling the country out to Germany for a few shekels. Oh, is that a mixed metaphor? Germany and shekels? But you gotta give it to the Israelis, right? I mean, where else do you run a 1,000-mile highway to the heart of Tehran, hurt nobody but destroy everything? It's a great job. They learned it from my mother. That other great destructive Jew who could run a 1,000-mile highway and accomplish absolutely nothing and just go, okay. Because the truth was, it was the alcohol. So my wife talks about my daughter's first birthday party. She leaves out some of the better parts, like my nephew beating up on the Elmo dolls. And we had these life-size Elmo hydrogens, and he felt compelled to destroy them. But that wasn't the least of his destructive habits, and I hope he hears me, because a lie is a lie, but truth is an absolute defense. He broke a Schlemowitz. I had this one-of-a-kind sculpture. He looks at it. It was made out. It was plaster, because as you know, one thing you may or may not know, that most of the sculptures you see saw that was plaster, the bronze ones. Then you use a process that would do it so it's gassy. He took it, threw it on the ground, looked at it, and said, Then he took my remote control. I had a cool remote control. They've never made the like again. It was a Sony remote control that controlled anything with little buttons you could program. Never learned how to use it. But I could manage to turn it on and off, do the volume, and get TVs. Threw that on the floor. And I'm thinking, and the other one was staring out the window wearing his cape. You know, and my family's going to talk about my wife being pregnant again. The first time she was pregnant, I go over to my mother's house where we were stuck living because we had a contractor named Elvis. Elvis was a little off. So at 4 in the morning, Elvis started working on what was supposed to be the room for us and the babies. We were closing off our loft so that we would actually have real rooms. So we unfortunately had to stay at my mother's. God almighty. Thank God I never have to repeat that again. But all of a sudden, Sunda calls me and wants my American Express card. It's like, why? My sister sat there complaining that my wife was pregnant with a half white child, well, with a half black child. My sister suspected it was all black. One drop of coke went a long way with my sister. All right. Anyhow, all of a sudden I noticed this bill for $1,000 of baby clothes that nobody's ever gonna wear. That is the biggest scam in America, is baby clothes. All right. Baby clothes and diapers. Right. What's the problem? With cloth diapers, roll them up, use a safety pin. I guess people didn't want to wash them because we ended up with all these disposable diapers. The cost of disposable diapers, with all due respect, can support the migrant population for at least 30 seconds. Minimum, 30 seconds. Take a couple of billion that they're costing, divided by the number of diapers. But when people don't have a lot of money and have babies, you now have to buy them diapers. Nothing else is worth. You buy them clothes, they don't last. A good solid Charmin or the little, I forgot what they were called. Thank God. What? Huggies. Huggies will go a long way to sanity. We never had diaper rash on the kids. I couldn't stand the odor. We're constantly changing those little mothers. But be that, now that I'm not funny tonight, because I stayed off of politics, which is usually my forte, or lecturing about history, but I do have to say one word about Michelle Obama. Was she wearing heels, or was Kamala Harris that short? I can't figure it out. She's a whole head and a shoulder taller than her. And she had that long weave that probably cost $1,000. I know because Sunday's used it. All right? And she gets up there in what had to be at least a $5,000 pantsuit. She should have lent it to Kamala, except it can't fit. Kamala's run out of clothes. In case no one noticed, it's the same 5 pastel colors, plus those earrings that she got from Germany, so that her puppet masters can give her instructions. Those things are pretty cool. I wondered, they probably have better fidelity than our YouTube channel.
Oh, stop it.
Kamala,
Stop it.
Kamala, stop saying that, Kamala.
Stop it.
Stop saying what? Kamala, the funniest thing that Trump did was make fun of her when the teleprompter went off. 32. You thought that AOC was counting commands, to get the kicker pushing it back. But now that's all over, and I've come up on this stage. Okay, and it's true. At the first birthday party, what the biggest shock was to my family is that there was going to be another colored child. And I use the word colored because my sister in the 1990s actually used the word colored. I used to look at her and say, that's what lack of education will do. Thank you very much.
Tell her who she graduated with.
Oh yeah, Andrew Dice Clay, another victim of lack of education. Now that high school is now having they now had a sexual abuse scandal recently. Madison High School. So these kids were sexually abusing another guy on the JV. But I will put it to you this way: Madison High School alumni, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, myself, and Chris Rock. Okay, thank you.
The big 5.
I don't know. We did a big 2. Did a big 3 shits.
Should have went to Catholic school.
Right. What was I going to do there?
They would have beat it out of you.
Beat what at?
Whatever you got, they will take
They
from
didn't
you.
do it to you.
Well, you know something? That's
I'm
all
telling
right.
Sister Christine.
You know what? That's all right. Because if you don't hit that camera, we're gonna have the comedy of the one and only Shelley Bright. That's right. That's it. Yes. We need some hormone stuff.
Right. I'm so happy to be here.
I hope so.
So I'm at a point in my life where I don't need a lot from a man, right? I already have my kids. I don't need money. I tell guys, I just want a supportive partner. But when you ask a man for emotional support, it's like you just asked him if you could do butt stuff to him. Most of them aren't into it, and the ones that are too into it. I like to get the butt stuff out of the way at the beginning of the set, just how I roll. I'm a mom who raised 4 children, and the last one just moved out. Now they all live on, now they all live on the East Coast, and I miss them so much less than I thought I would. I know I've told that joke before, but I changed a comma, and you guys just, it's subtle. When you become an empty nester, your friends all want to comfort you. My friends call up like, sure, are you okay? Is there anything I can bring over? I'm like, maybe some ecstasy. The orgy starts at 6. I'm actually worried, thank you, note laugh in the background. I'm actually worried that since I'm putting myself first and having so much fun doing stand-up, I'm not going to be the kind of grandma that I always thought I would be. And my kids will be pissed. And they'll be like, Mom, you got my 5-year-old a fake ID? I'm like, what? How else am I going to get her into the comedy club? You told me, don't leave her in the car again. But I don't want to be a lame grandma. So now I tell my kids, just wait until you're in your 60s to adopt. You can adopt when I'm dead. My job, I gotta come up with a funny line for that, because that will happen again. I'm a Jewish parent, and when my kids applied to college, I wanted to encourage them to apply to schools with strong Jewish communities. So I was honest. I told my daughter, listen, you're going to college, you're going to get HPV. But wouldn't it be nice to get it from a boy named Ezra?
Okay.
When you drop your kids off at college, it doesn't matter how good a job you've done parenting. It doesn't matter how good a job you've done parenting. You get this overwhelming feeling that this is your last chance to give life advice. Right? So you're like, make good choices. Be kind. And never date a hockey player. At least not one named Sal. And if you do, don't send nudes. But when you do, don't show your face. And in your 40s, people are going to tell you you need filler. You don't. Just Botox. And I want a small funeral. Why are you running? Because my mom was so smothering, I decided to give my kids, a lot of space. And I know they appreciated it. Because, like the other day, my daughter left me the sweetest voicemail. She was like, Mom, please call back. Ezra got me pregnant. The truth is, I love my kids more than anything, but now they're all out of the house, and I feel like I gave them too much space. I'm trying to reconnect, and it feels kind of like trying to rekindle with an ex. I'll text, you up? What do I text? You up? Oh, are you still into D&D? What are you wearing? I checked the weather and it's cold. Please say the sweater that I sent. Is it weird that I'm already looking forward to texting you again tomorrow? If they don't respond, would I wait 3 days before texting back? They do finally respond. My son was like, Mom, stop sending nudes. But I love that picture of you on a bearskin rug. Parents change their communication style as their kids grow up. When they're young, you're authoritarian. That's what's for dinner because that's what Mommy made. When your kids are older, you're informational. Like, eat up, you need that fuel for soccer. When your kids are over 18, you're only supposed to give advice when it's asked for. So you're passive aggressive. You're like, fine, don't finish eating my cooking list, like I might not want to finish paying for your college. What's hard about having young adult kids, and I read this one, is you don't really know what's going on in their lives. Like, they want their independence. They don't want you to pry. So I just try to slip things into conversations. Doesn't seem like a big deal. What was my example? Like, my son was at college, and I was like, I've noticed you have a lot of female friends. Have you done your laundry? Have you done any of your female friends? But they gotta know. I want to know. Is he a virgin? Is he gay? I have questions. And I like how I do my act out at talking to every person in the audience. If my son is everywhere.
Right.
Anyway, I obviously need an acting class on December 8th from 7 to 10.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And it's weird when your child starts to take on your role in the family. Like, my daughter's now a little me. She thinks ahead about special gifts for birthdays and holidays. She's better at it. That's one of the only functions I have left as a mom, is gifts. She was like, we should make Grandma a calendar. And I was like, oh, well, I already had that idea. I actually already ordered that on Etsy. You're too late. It's hard for me to remember all my kids' friends' names, and they give me such a hard time about it. right? My daughter was like, so I said, it's all new jokes. I said, I just can't remember your little friend's name from chemistry. She's like, Mom, he stayed with us last summer. It's Eric, and he's my fiance. So now I'm trying to remedy my ways. I take all these little sneaky photos, and my apartment looks like a CSI crime scene, right? It's like, Rick had sex with and broke lava lamp. Jack had sex while Rick cleaned up lava lamp. Orange string between Rick and Jack. Got in fight. Jim, her father. Eric, little friend from chemistry. My daughter is checking out my CSI cards, and she's like, boy, she shared a room with for a year? That's my brother. How much time do I have left?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Oh no, so much I want to do. What's cool about having adult children is you don't feel like you have to lie anymore. Like I remember one time we were all together for my son's college graduation, and my son's like, where's Dad? I'm like, oh, he called me a whore and ran out. Just like he did in Thanksgiving 2018 when I lied and told you he went out to get a second turkey. He wants to play mahjong. I feel like I wasn't slutty enough in college. I married the first guy I had a real relationship with. I ended up in an abusive marriage, right? But trying to talk to my kids about it can be challenging. I sit my daughter down and I'm like, listen, honey, I know you think what you need now is a man who's got a good job, who's compassionate, who shares your values. But what you really need now is to sit on a lot of different faces. Don't follow your heart. Follow your pussy for a few years, babe. You know what builds character? Herpes. I'm going to skip a couple jokes here. My husband was a very difficult man to be married to. He never fought fair. I mean, no matter what was going on, he'd say, you just can't stand to see me happy. And I was like, we're at my father's funeral. No, like, I'm not saying he was emotionally abusive, because if I did, he'd call me a whore in front of our kids. So, you know, sometimes, people are laughing at that one. Sometimes I get jealous when I feel like my ex is getting more time with our kids. This is totally true. I mean, you gotta be the bigger person. Like, the kids all flew into town for my ex's birthday party last week, and they told me they weren't gonna have time to see me, and my friend was like, you're gonna crash that party, right? And I was like, I would never do that. I called in a bomb threat. My kids want my ex and I to vacation together so we can all be together as a family. And I told them that's just going to take some time. And my daughter was like, oh, I get it. You're waiting until you have a better relationship with Dad. And I said, no, I'm waiting until I have a hot young boyfriend named Marcus who bench presses me in the living room. I am such a people pleaser that I go overboard whenever my kids ask for help. My daughters were in town preparing to go on a ski trip with their dad, and almost ran over this diseased cat. Of course they brought me the cat, of course. I raised it, and now of course the cat's left me to hang out with my ex. Which I'm fine with. It's his only shot at young pussy.
Okay.
Do I have time for one more? I'm out. Do I have time for one more? I'm out. Okay. It's hard that my kids are closer with each other than with me. I'm like the fifth wheel. I have 4 kids. Fifth wheel. I visited my 2 daughters, and I found out they both have boyfriends that my sons have already met. And I was like, you wouldn't be so close with your brothers if I didn't give birth to all 4 of you.
Okay.
I have no idea why they wouldn't tell me. I mean, I was great with my daughter's ex-boyfriend, just because I never looked him in the eye, acknowledged him, or invited him to Thanksgiving. We were sleeping together. It just would have been too awkward. All right. Start with sex and end with sex.
And where do we find you?
Sherry_Bright 2.
Right. Yeah. And I can't send you your picture because I can't find it in my phone. So you gotta make sure I have it or give it to Aaron before.
Thank you guys for bearing with all my reading.
Of course. We are so proud to see a parent get away with anything. Are you kidding me? Patty is just like, he's quelling. We're making him Jewish right now. He's quelling. And he's gonna quell for you. He's swell from Mattel, toy maker to the stars. Comedy, come on. From Jersey with love. Let's give it up for the one and only Patty. Let me hear you. Patty! Oh,
Thank you. Give it up for me.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I like that. One more time for Sunda Crew Quiz. There was a point. There was one point, and I love Sherry Bright, by the way. Give it up for Sherry
Yes.
Bright. There was one point in the beginning of your act where you looked at Sunda like she may need medical attention. Which you looked over like you were alarmed.
I know.
It was, can I say something? It was adorable.
It It was adorable.
You are so adorable.
Right?
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Just oodles and oodles, a whole big cup full of adorable. I just want to dress you up like Peggy Fleming in a nice parade outfit and bench press you in my front room.
Sandy Duncan.
I love that Sandy Duncan. You got to look in her good eye, though. See, this is an old reference. Nobody gets Sandy Duncan humor. It's an early '70s actress. No, well, about 40% of the room would know. She was a one-eyed early '70s actress. Which, if you don't know, you should. She was one-eyed. She was one-eyed. She lost her eye, and Sammy Davis actually came. Which, you guys don't know who Sammy Davis is. As my father called him, he was one of the good ones. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that, which is actually what Shabbat Goyim translates to. If you know that, I'm a little conflicted about that. Happy to be called one, but think about that for a second. It's a little odd. My name is Patty, and I got my lower back hair from my mom, and my love of musical theater from my dad. It's true. Well, there were some musical theater references earlier. And I think we live in a crazy time. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because we don't relate to each other as people anymore. We relate to each other as tribes. You're a them or you're an us. Like, for instance, I have friends that are Trump supporters. And I want to say something. I'll say it out loud. All Trump supporters aren't racist. But many of them are on the spectrum. Oh, yeah. And the idea, this is how insane it is. Where we live and how we live and what we base our decisions on is, you really think Tony Hinchcliffe is going to change the fucking outcome of the election by making fun of Puerto Rico, comparing it to a pile of floating garbage? First of all, I don't know if you've ever been to Puerto Rico, but okay. Anyway, and Trump historically doesn't have a great relationship with Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Do you remember when they had a hurricane? He was just throwing fucking paper towels at him. Remember that? He just threw a bunch of fucking paper towels at her. So I don't know. But why is it so important? Like, I don't think when Richard Nixon ran in 1968 that Shecky Green could have fucked up the outcome of an election. You know, at what point in history did we decide, what do the clowns think?
Right.
Let's base our next fucking ruler on what the clowns think. It's fucking ridiculous. We're ridiculous people. It's completely ridiculous. Also, I want to quell a rumor. The rumor is, of course, that ayahuasca is now the pickleball of drugs. 100% true. Pickleball has invaded our culture. Somebody told me recently I look vaguely like I play pickleball, which is just kind of a code for you look like a white guy who's too poor to golf. And it's true, because I am at the pinnacle of my entertainment career, ladies and gentlemen. Woo. Yes, yesterday I had an engagement in the capital of Armenia, Glendale, California, where I am the go-to Elvis tribute artist at the Glendale Assisted Living Facility. Woo! Yes, I finally made it. It's show business. Show business. Damn it, they pay me in hummus, which is okay. Oh, by the way, my act is now sponsored, so I have to say, brought to you by fuck ton of hummus. It's delicious, but it's also a fuck ton of hummus. It's the Elvis tribute artist thing is kind of aging out my demographic, It's aging out, but they pay, I'm the show business totem pole. A lot of people don't know it, some people know, but I don't tell people I'm an Elvis impersonator. Although, I make a lot more money doing that than doing stand-up. Way more! It's not even fucking close, but on the show business totem pole, Elvis tribute artist is 2 rungs below fucking rodeo clown. Still 3 rungs above open mic stand-up. And they do still fling undergarments at me. Yes, they do. It's adorable. 70% are adult diapers. 30% of those are filled. But I get approached by groupies. I do. I mean, you have not lived your show business dreams until you have been propositioned by a 97-year-old woman who has a Viagra and an invitation to make sweet, slow love to her, which I declined. I She then showed me, they're horny places. I don't know if you know this about fucking horny. A lot of sexual activity in there. She showed me, she had an Elvis Presley vibrator. It was like a white vibrator. It had sideburns. Had 2 speeds, Jailhouse Rock, and Love Me Tender. And the thing about it is, its style, it had completely stolen from a black vibrator that it neither acknowledged or compensated. I had a girlfriend who had a dildo that she called Thor. Yeah. You ever notice how nothing's weird if you're into it? It's like, yeah! But it's just too much. It was too intimidating. Thor. Also, I was very happy to see, somebody gets into some oxygen. I was very happy to see that American writer, actor, and serial masturbationist Lena Dunham has come out with a new documentary called If You're Brave Enough, Everything's a Dildo. She's been off the scene for a while, and it's good to see that she's back. Good to see that she's back. We haven't found out. I love it. I love it, yeah! I also want to say, the term partner, have you heard this term, partner? I'm not talking, straight couples have co-opted this. It's cultural appropriation from gay people, partner. But I really think the beneficiaries are heterosexual men. Because, let me tell you something, I got my wife a fucking huge diamond for our anniversary. Yeah, a huge diamond. She touched it and she said, now I know what really hard feels like. She's sometimes mean to me. But do you know who does not get you a big fucking diamond? Someone who calls you their partner. I read the article. It said, well, we've been together 9 years. It doesn't seem mature to call him my boyfriend. You know what partner is code for? I'm never going to fucking marry you. It's never going to... Oh, you mean if this relationship has legal consequences if I want to leave? No. You know what my wife would do if I referred to her as my partner? She'd fucking punch me in the mouth, call a lawyer, and then fuck the pool boy.
Okay.
Which, to be honest with you, the pool boy's kind of hot. I might fuck the pool boy, I'm not sure. I'm going through a phase. Or what is he? He looks a lot like Sean Connery. Who's a hot young man. I say, no homo, no diddy. No diddy here. So, I was thinking out loud. Oh yeah, I know. My new book is coming out, and I want you guys to pick up a copy. It's a lot about my early life. It's called The Business End of the Glory Hole. It's a travel guide for young men on a budget. Want you to, and one of the chapters is, you ever notice how it's not weird? If you're into it, that's chapter 7. You want to look at that. And I've pitched a new idea. I, too, was a finance bro for many, many years. And it is Uber Glory Hole. Uber Glory Hole. Why would you wander far east on the 10 to exit at Claremont and go into a men's room at a Union 76 station when you could have a glory hole come to you? A 5-star rated glory hole with breath mints and a phone charger? Come on, it's because you got to think about something. If you do contemplate a glory hole, is the universe truly a friendly place? You got to be optimistic to stick your dick through a hole.
Okay.
Not know what's coming. But with Uber Glory Hole, you can have reviews. It takes a lot of why would you drive south on the 5 till you get to the Temecula rest stop? Why would you go all the way down there? Why would you? When you could just get your Uber Glory Hole. Right there, do you? Right there, do you? Here's a basic thing, and again, I don't let people know how I feel politically. Sometimes they can extract it. But the one thing, Trump, did you see Trump at the McDonald's? Did you see how excited he was around those French fries? That man, you could tell. Here's the thing, honest to God, I think he's authentic, right? Like, he loved fucking McDonald's. You could tell he was charged up to be there. And when he started to talk about Arnold Palmer's penis, You could tell he was really enthusiastic about it. Which, being that enthusiastic about Arnold Palmer's penis means you've never seen Dennis Rodman naked. Look, I won't get into it, but you know, you get offered a three-way with Carmen Electra, you're not going to say no. It was the early '90s. I was going through a phase. I don't know what to tell you. This is good. This is good. I feel good. You guys feel good? This is part of my act where you, all of you, just look at me, feel a little bit better about yourself. My gift to you. It's my gift to you. I like to rub my belly. I like to. I used to be scared about my belly, but now I have a belly and I'm happy to have it. You know? And you know why I do that, Sherry Bright?
I don't know.
I have outlived the proctologist. You remember proctology? You guys don't know what a proctologist is yet. You will if you live long enough. You'll find out what a proctologist is. But I did. I outlived my proctologist, and so I had to get a new proctologist. And because I was at the new proctologist, they have to do the exam. So I was bent over the table, and he goes in there, and I heard him say, whatever you do, just don't get an erection. I looked over my shoulder and I said, I won't. He said, I wasn't talking to you. Anyway, about 30 minutes in, I noticed both of his hands were on my shoulders. We're going out for sushi on Saturday. I'm going through a phase, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going through a phase. And before I leave you, by the way, you guys have been an adequate audience. Give yourself a round of applause. I want to dispel yet another rumor, if I may. This rumor, of course, is that the proprietor of the Comedy Chateau, Felix McNulty, died over the weekend and was denied his spot in heaven for not bringing 5 people. Almost. This rumor, unfortunately, is not true yet. Yeah, he still walks the earth. Some of this stuff, just so you know, Sunda, I make up. It's not all supposed to be factual. It's not about just let you know. But it's he's a universally hated individual, Felix McNulty.
Okay.
Do y'all clap if you hate Felix McNulty?
Yeah.
Sure.
This has been a Stone Gas, baby. I love you, man. I love you. Give it up for Patty, and give it up for Patterson, New Jersey's
You better believe it.
mistress
Down.
of misfit toys, us being those toys. Give it up for Sunda Brunquick. Come on!
Yes, thanks for explaining.
I'm gonna do something about Patterson. How's that?
Ow!
Oh my God. See, that's why you guys, let me tell you something. That place was good when it was a restaurant. It was just a restaurant. And did he surprise you once you got there and then said you couldn't go on until you bring 5 people?
I've never do the I don't do that. I know him and he likes me, but I won't do that. I don't do anything like that. Somebody missed at my show, a comedian of color referred to me as Felix on accident. And I was, oh no.
Serious?
I know we all look alike, but no.
Yeah.
Fuck no, I'm not Felix. And he will tell you that you're special and talented. He won't tell me that because I don't have kids. But
Well, then I'm shocked.
and then, you know, he'll kind of whatever. I mean, it's not the Felix McNulty referendum. No. But I can tell when I do that joke because you do a lot of.
But it's good for you to, you know what it is? It's good for you to talk about it, Patty. You know why? Because these people don't know. A lot of people don't know. And the other thing that you guys don't know is that you better be able to be a bringer. That's the other side of it. When people say, oh, I hear you and Dane Cook are doing bringer shows, we have to. That's what we call fans. But when someone says to someone who's a seasoned, as we are, and says, you know, you're going to go out, but you got to bring X amount of people, I would have brought 20, but you stopped me at 5.
Oh.
And so we're going to deal with that in this world with LASC and what's happening over there. And it's amazing the people that badmouth this place that would rather wait around to go there and be cut from their time and be in competition with the owner, and I don't understand it. But I'm just telling all of you, get your shit together so nobody tells you what to do. I mean it, get your shit together, and you are, yeah, we're all bringers. Everywhere I go, I have to be a bringer, but it's on my terms. Don't ever cut me like that. And there's a female who's done that to me. And she said to me, you know, that show on Saturday, you know, you have to bring 10 people. So why don't you give that spot to somebody else? I've already advertised, we got over 10 people coming. Enjoy them.
Well, there's also
Let them
this.
enjoy it.
There's, like, I book a jazz band.
Produce your show.
Every musician brings
Produce your
3 or 4
show.
people.
Produce your show. Produce
Comics,
your show.
They're like
Produce your
strippers.
show.
They don't want friends or family in the audience. They want to be out of nowhere. Kind of like Batman.
I don't know about that, but I think you need to have an audience. Well, it depends on where you are. Look, I got in trouble when I did Montreal. They said, oh, well, it's great that you pack the house with all your friends and family. And I said to the guy that was running it, I'm from New Jersey. I did very well. I'm from New Jersey. I didn't have any friends here. Oh, I did have a friend from kindergarten. Didn't crack a smile. My best friend looked at me and goes crazy. And when I got off stage, she goes, why are you doing that? I go, doing what? She goes, aren't you scared? She goes, I would never do that. And I felt horrible. Imagine looking at your best friend from school you used to laugh with, thinking, this is going to be great. Not a smile. You see how people just assume? They just assume, and they put that against you. But at that time, they had to put me on anyway. Not only was I the funniest, but your agency, every agency had one spot for the comic. And I don't know how that is now. And Montreal's in the same anyway. I mean, I'm not saying in a bad way, you should all do it, if you want to do it. I mean, shoe shopping, it's great. And I've done it 4 times, so.
You're talking about a festival?
And I did. How much money did I spend? I got into a fight with Mark at Customs because the man found a parking ticket, and Mark says, let me see that ticket. And the cop says, no, you can't touch this. This is government property. And Mark says, you don't tell me what to do. I'm an attorney. And I'm like, we're not in New York. I'm like, nigga, we over here, these people, they can put us in jail, stuff like that. So, just do your own thing. I really do suggest to all of you that you do produce a show. Patty produces a show. And I'll tell you why you know. When you produce a show, you will learn to be a better performer and have better etiquette when you perform for others. And you'll know what it's like to say, wow, there's 15 minutes before they're supposed to be here. Do you think they could text me? Now it's 10 minutes, now it's 5 minutes. Oh, I was outside talking. And then you'll learn all those other things like, oh, please, Patty, can I go on now? Because I have another spot. I've got to leave right now. And Patty's like, well, okay, I'll do it for you because you're so nice and da-da-da. And then Patty turns around and sees that same person talking to somebody in the door. Don't do that. Because he's not going to forget. And I'm not going to forget. We never forget. We're comedians. And remember, just don't be like fanning when you're in a comedy club, when you see a comic that's big. We're all in the same place. We're all pissing on the same toilet bowl that's not clean. And I say that with love to you, Al Martin from New York Comedy Club. That's right, he made the comedians clean toilets to get stage time. Clean toilets. And I got people complaining. Thank you. You too, Mark. And anyway, I'm not going to even get into it. God bless him and every other comedy club owner in New York who taught me what it was like to work hard for the money. And I'm glad I did. And you guys do it too. Please make sure you come December 8th. We're having a great time. I've got 2 people coming in that's seen us so far. I don't know if it's like, your ass or my ass, but they're coming. And that's good. And again, what we should have said to make it clear is it's just not show up. You have to reserve your spot. And you can find us at LA School of Comedy. And remember, people tell you you're funny. You probably are, but you won't know until you take it from the page to the stage. And this is one-stop shopping. You need your live taping done. You need a live stream. You need dubs. You don't do dubs. Well, we'll get it sent to you in some way, shape, or form. And we do everything here. And now acting and more. And Kai, thank you so much for being here. Your participation means so much to us. My name is Cindy Cruz, ladies and gentlemen. See you at the Comedy Store. Good night.